Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the den, y'all. LegacyInternetRadio.com. Appreciate everybody that's still with us here live in the den. Again, Legacy Internet Radio, the flagship show here. We're getting into a whole lot of stuff for the rest of the night, but we starting off with my main man, Carl Banks. He's got a question. What do we think about it, Carl Banks? What are we asking tonight?
Well, what we're asking tonight is, what do you think the biggest impacts of social media is on your life? I mean, if it weren't for Twitter, if it weren't for Facebook, if it weren't for MySpace, where would we be right now? I mean, one of the things I've heard a person say is rapid news travel. Well, how's that any different than the radio? I mean, is it the fact that technology just allows us the ability to know that April P is out at Gold's Gym working out at 9 o'clock in the morning? I mean, what is it about social media and tagging yourself at a particular location? That's another point to the whole thing of social media, and how is it impacting your life? What is it telling the next person while you out there at that store? Well, you ain't at the store. You sweating it out with the rest of them. Yeah, tone it up. Yeah, got my flexor here. But see, I know you're doing all that while you're running on the treadmill or the Stairmaster. So, I mean, what's up?
The impact of social media on my life. Oh, God. I would talk on the phone more. I know that. Just in my everyday life.
Just the phone?
Yeah, I would talk on the phone more.
Uh-huh.
Just my everyday life. Oh, gosh. I'm on social media a lot. I may not post a lot or comment a lot, but I'm reading a lot. And it's entertainment, really.
Right.
It's entertainment. It's almost like watching the TV to me, to read some of the posts and see some of the pictures. It's pure entertainment sometimes.
Pure comedy.
And sometimes it's tragedy. But news does travel fast. I know a lot of times I get breaking news off someone's update, and then I'll go to the news site and see what's really going on, or ESPN or whatever I'm interested in, to see what's really going on. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because just from working in schools, sometimes it can be a bad thing,
right?
Because parents or someone will update something on social media and they don't have the whole story, and it forces people to play catch up as far as those who are really involved. And what I mean is, if something happens at a school and the parents start posting about it, for instance, at a local school, a child had brought a gun onto a bus.
Right.
And the parents knew before the school did anything. And I had so many posts on my Facebook page about the school is so slow, and why didn't they call us, and why do I have to find out on Facebook? You have to find out on Facebook because the school hasn't finished their investigation. They can't put out a letter or a phone call saying this is what happened and not have answers to some questions. Because the next thing is going to be, well, they told us this, but then they don't know what's going on. So organizations lose their time to do their due diligence a lot of times with social media because it's out there too fast. Or we've all had, it's out there and the story's wrong. How many times have celebrities been killed off on social
Jerry Springer
media?
been dead about 4 or 5 times.
Jackie Chan did right now.
It's just wrong,
It's a zombie.
There are dangers to social media. Social media, I think, of course, we know about cyberbullying.
I know you're the big bully, ain't you?
Not on social media. I uplift. But you know about cyberbullying. I've seen studies where psychiatrists have said that social media can lead to depression because some people will read what's going on or what they think is going on in their friends' lives and say, well, I don't have that. I'm not doing that. Oh, they're doing so well. And then all of a sudden they're depressed about their own life, looking at what they think other people are doing.
Right.
Because we really have no idea if that's what's really going on.
Well, I will say this.
Not.
I did reach out and talk to some of my friends, and the most positive, if there is such a way of saying that, message that I've seen from social media, girl said she just found her brother and her father on Facebook, and she ain't seen them since she was 3.
Right.
All right. Then I've seen people say that the best thing about it is also the worst thing about it is always being connected.
Yes.
There's a way of saying I can be without Facebook for a day. Okay, boom, my phone is off.
Right.
You know, I don't have but 4 gig data plan, so I can't be wasting all that up in a month, you know, just checking Facebook and getting updates and stuff to me. You know, I can wait till I get home for some of it. But then the biggest thing is catching up with friends and family. Okay, that's cool. But then, again, the question is, what is the best thing about social media? I mean, it got to be the best thing about social media. I mean,
that probably is the best thing about social media.
Okay.
To me.
I remember the first time I got Facebook was 5-6 years ago. A summer program that I was a part of when I was in high school was having a reunion after not having seen each other for, I don't know, 20 years, 15, 20 years. We were having a reunion, and the only way that you had information on how to, be a part of the reunion, you had to get a Facebook account, which I didn't have at the time.
Right.
And so I went and got a Facebook account so that I could get information on the reunion. And then when I saw, like, wow, I just ran into John, and wow, Michael's on here too, and wow, Sarah's on here, and next thing you got all of these people that you're connecting with. And, we all know that when you first get Facebook or you first get Twitter or whatever, the social media, Instagram, whatever they are, when you first get them, it's like those friends, they just start coming in like pow, 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 pow. You get them real quick and boost your number way up or whatever it may be. So as far as I'm concerned, that's like the best part about it. You start seeing all the people that you can reconnect because I'll be honest with you, I don't like talking on the telephone. I don't like talking on the telephone. I never have, since I was maybe a kid, when I was in high school or whatever, but Mrs. J can tell you, like, when we were going through the date period, like, no, I don't call. If I go out of town, like, I'll call just so that, Mama J can hear my voice, and then I keep it moving. I just don't, I got like maybe 3 people on the planet, that I could sit on the telephone and talk to forever. Everybody else is kind of awkward. I find myself always leading the conversation. That gets kind of tiring after a while. So social media allows you to keep up with folks. You can send them a quick, note, or, with me, I like to be able to express my quirkiness, which I am very quirky. So if I have I have a very, like yesterday, I had a question that I put on yesterday or the day before. I had a question that I put on Facebook. How many people still make up their bed every single day? You know what I mean? And all the hell yes all wanted to chime in. It was only like 1 or 2 that didn't. That chimed in that didn't. I'm like, y'all a bunch of fakers, because for real, don't nobody make up their freaking bed every single. I don't care what you say. Everybody don't make up the bed every single day. You might have done it when if you was born prior to 1968, and you were a baby boomer, But if you Gen X, come on, man, for real. All y'all make y'all bed every single day.
I make my bed, man.
Okay, fine.
It's in my head. I make it, but I make it.
I make my bed when I feel like making the bed. Some days I walk right past it and I look at the sheet on the floor next to the bed, like, damn, I probably should pick that up, but nah, I got something to do. But I'm clowning, but that's one of the things that I really like about social media. Being able to have a roundtable conversation about things. Anybody that knows me, I ain't scared to talk about race. Most people are. So a lot of times you don't get those conversations that'll come up. But, here's the thing that trips me out about social media. People like to talk about nonsense. People love to talk about nonsense.
Oh, yeah, they do.
People going to talk all day long about scandal and about basketball wives and about, making up your bed. But then you say something about, you know what, let's black out the day after Thanksgiving and try to pool this money in one place. Ain't nobody got nothing to say then. So that's to me is one of the downfalls of social media. And then the last thing I'll say, Carlton, before you read some of your comments there, I'll say it for Big Rube since he's not here. We usually like to try to get a Big Rube reference in every single show until we have him rejoin us. We have a date. We will be seeing him at the end of August. So Big Rube will be back in studio regularly around the end of August. But then you get all of these text message gangsters, Big Rube's phrase. You get all these text message gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Carlton Banks.
You know what? I didn't even feel like hearing that word.
But it's the truth.
You know what?
It's the truth. At least I didn't say the other phrase that he say. When you get people that do stupid things, the universe has a way of taking care of them through natural selection. But you get, like I see all of these arguments from people, going back and forth, and I'm like, it's really not that serious. Like, I mean, why would you air your dirty laundry out for the whole world to see? So that's uncomfortable for the person participating, but then you ain't no punk. You ain't no punk. So you called me out, so I got to call you out. And now you got all of these voyeurs looking at like, wow, they going in on each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I am not passive aggressive. If I got something to say to you, I'm going to say it to you. I'm not going to put something on social media talking about you so that you're the only person in the whole world that knows that it's about. Now you feeling some kind of way because Marcus J just called out April P on Facebook. Only April P knows what it is. April P is feeling some kind of way. Why don't Marcus J just call up April P, even though he don't like talking on the phone?
Marcus J ain't got no phone. He just got a text messaging program.
Yeah, he don't like talking on the phone. But that's one of the things, April, that I don't like about social media.
The saddest thing I've ever seen on social media, a husband was being put out of his home, and he's like steadily updating. Well, I'm packing up the clothes. The next update is gotta kiss the girls bye. And the next update, until his wife jumps in on the post saying, hey, you need to get off Facebook, with our stuff. Because of course people are commenting on his post and they don't know what's going on in his marriage,
Yeah.
So
I know someone that was suicidal, and they were posting suicidal thoughts on there, and we had a group of friends that we were all very concerned, about the things that this person was saying, and we ended up having to get this person on the telephone, like, yo, you all right? Like, well, no, really, actually, I'm not all right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so those are the things that I don't like.
Right.
That I really don't like about social media, and then kind of piggyback and call banks on some of the stuff that y'all was saying earlier about how rumors can get started with regards to, regular folk like us or famous people. Once something gets said, all you need is like one other person to go, word.
Right.
Next thing you know, word turns into it's true.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, Carl. You haven't given that much of an opinion on it. What do you like?
My biggest thing about it is the fact that you said earlier how you use Facebook to get in contact with your classmates. That was the biggest thing, because you're talking about people you haven't seen in really 10, 15, 20 years. That's the thing I like to see the progression, because, you may look like that swan in high school, but man, you are a straight mud duck for real. I mean, good Lord. Oh, I struck.
Not a mud duck.
I hit a home run on that one. Woo! Thank you. But it's fun. The problem I had with social media is the opinions of certain things that, let's relate it to political. I hate seeing political comments about the POTUS. Where would this same type of conversation have been when Clinton, Reagan, Bush, Carter, Bush again have been in office? I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Obama out of office from a standpoint of, I want to see how social media flips or changes if the ethnicity of the president changes. Well, not if, when the ethnicity of the president changes. That's what I'm waiting to see about social media.
The only thing I'll say to that is George Bush caught hell too. But he didn't
have it like he had it on social media. There was no Facebook during George Bush.
There was because he left office just 5 years ago, and I just mentioned I got Facebook 2007. So there was plenty of social media. It wasn't as prevalent as it is now, but there was definitely social media. And the reality is, going back to the whole text message gangster thing, people going to talk about whoever they can talk about when that person ain't there. You can be sure. You can be sure that as clear as the sound of my voice is clear to you right now. If Ted Nugent was standing in the room, it was just him and Barack Obama, he would say some things a little bit different to his face than he would, over social media. Maybe not Ted. Maybe Ted's a badass. Okay, but, pick your punk ass on Facebook ain't going to be talking like he talked or she talked about the president or anybody for that matter if that person was in their presence. And the reality is people hide behind their computer or these keyboard revolutionaries and all that kind of stuff. That's what people do. And I can't speak for you, I am extra sensitive to the ridicule that our president gets because he is black and I'm black, and I see that a lot of it is race-based.
Yeah.
It's race-based and it's nasty and it's vitriolic and it's uncalled for, but they're going to find something about you to pick on, no matter who you are. I got picked on because I was short. Got picked on because I wore glasses. You know, Carlton Banks probably got picked on for whatever he got picked on for.
His hairline.
So people going to pick on you. People picked on. People picked on. Inside joke. People picked on, you know, George Bush because of the whole thing about him not being very smart, which, you know, he wasn't book smart. The dude got C's in college.
He really was.
He got in college because his daddy went to that college. You know what I mean? He was legacy. So, you know, the thing of the matter is, it doesn't matter who you are. You're gonna get picked on about something. But I agree with you. It's extra. It's extra.
Yeah, it's really extra.
Because
it's not extra. It's extra.
It's extra.
Yeah,
you know,
extra.
Because did I say that right? Extra.
Extra.
It's extra because he is a black man. But I'd be curious to see now when we get a woman president.
Boy, it's gonna be ripped.
When we get a woman, because that's what people do. People by nature are punk asses. They just are. So they're going to pick on the lady president like they pick on the black guy president. That's just what people do. April, do you agree that the next president, if it's a female, or when we do get eventually, because eventually we'll get one. I mean, Britain did it 30 years ago. I'm sure we'll have a lady president eventually. When Hillary is elected in 2016, are they going to be giving her a hard time?
I'm not sure, because I think just the sheer number of women, the female population, total female population, white and black, I don't think they're going to go so hard or as hard as Hillary Clinton as maybe the number of other races that probably has things to say about the current president of the United States.
Well, see, they're already talking about her now, so they're going to be more emphatic about their comments towards her because, again, she has the potential to being the next president of the United States. Again, it's a woman being there, and they're going to say things of how can she manage or deal with or even govern the country, and we've never been in this situation before. That's the kind of things that I'm foreseeing that they're going to be talking about and saying about her. So negative, it's not funny. So it's.
But when you're saying, okay, are you saying the ridicule will be coming from men?
Yeah.
Or men and women?
Mostly men.
Mostly men.
Yeah.
Whereas, okay, so the current president, he's going to catch it from white men, white women.
Yep.
Asian man. I'm just throwing out, Asian women. Whereas you now take those women that were once picking on the president because he is black. Oh, now we have a woman. So you may still get the men, but what I'm saying is that the women, I think, will be stronger.
They're not going to attack. They're not going to attack her femininity, or they're not going to attack her race.
But see, the reality is, people attack their own. People eat their young. That's what they do. So you're going to have a bunch of women that are going to support her, but then you're going to have a few prominent women that are going to come out so strongly against her that it's going to blow your mind.
Like Ann Coulter type?
Maybe like Ann Coulter types. But the analogy that I was going to use is two of the most prominent, well-respected, loved black men in this country prior to 2008 in Tavis Smiley and Cornel West, who go in on the president so hard daily. Right now, every single day. And I have no problem, not ridicule, that's a bad word. I have no problem criticizing the president for his practices and criticizing, some of the things that he does, because I do it. I don't think that anybody should be, above doing that. However, when you listen to some of the things that they say, it's very clear that it's personal. It's clear that it's personal. And that's where I have a problem, because do I think that they have a higher responsibility to protect the president in a way that doesn't show that there's dissension in our ranks because they are black? Absolutely, I believe that. That does not mean that you don't have things to say about the things that he does. You don't have to, you don't have to attack his character and say things like, you don't lead. I didn't like, how long it took for you to make a statement, so you lead from behind. Like, that's what the opposition says.
Right.
Those are their talking points.
Right.
So if you're going to be someone who understands the plight of minorities in this country, and you want to go on bus tours and things of that sort, poverty bus tours, to sell your books, by the way. But if you want to go on poverty bus tours and things like that and present yourself as someone who is a leader of minorities, but then you attack the president who does a lot of jacked up stuff out of this country, but a lot of good stuff inside this country, and you do it in such a vitriolic, personal kind of way, I absolutely believe that when we have a woman president, you're going to see that coming from women. When we have a Latino president, you're going to see that coming from Latinos. Maybe not quite as strong, but that's essentially what people do by nature. They attack their own. It just kind of it upsets me, because it's like, this personal thing didn't have to be made public. Right. You didn't have to do that. But I guess going back to the original thing, I mean, a lot of what they do is on social media. A lot of the things that was said was on social media, like Tavis Smiley. This was funny. Yesterday was the president's birthday, right? And Tavis Smiley had a post on his Facebook wall that said, "Happy birthday, Mr. President." Now, on the surface, that seems, pretty harmless. Man, people went crazy on Tavis because they know that Tavis has issues with the president. Now, are we going to go after those people for attacking Tavis? Or do we attack Tavis for having, in the past, attacked the president?
Why couldn't the Tavis just say, happy birthday? Why? It's still something. Again,
that is absolutely my point.
It's still something that, hey, if you recognize people who are of national or some type of popular response by calling us here at 804-402-2893 and giving us your opinion, then why not? I can sit here and say, David Duke, happy birthday. All right. I may not agree with what he said, but he is a person of famous birthday origin or shares his date. Boom. Happy birthday, David Duke.
Absolutely 100% agree with you. And that was the point that I was making. The fact that, okay, we know that you got personal beef with him. I think it's a little weird, disingenuous that you make a point of saying happy birthday publicly, but the fact that you did it doesn't mean that everybody else gets to attack you for it. Right. Because it was nasty the way people went after him. I thought it was kind of whack. But, once again, social media ills, that's one of the things that me personally, I don't care for, and for me, it's kind of two-sided. I love the fact that you can connect with people. I love the fact that your friend in California, who you haven't seen, everything that's going on with him because you're going through your pictures. I love the fact that, one of my favorite cousins right now lives in South Korea. She was listening last week. I hope she's listening tonight. She can follow Steppin Marcus J and everything we're doing with the families through social media. So those are the things that I like. But calling somebody out their name just because you can is one of the things that I don't like. Ain't no how Steppin Marcus J. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to get into what the hell. And I got 2 segments of what the hell that I'm going to get to. And the first story I'm going to talk about is very, very appropriate to this last segment that we had here talking about social media. That's all I'll leave you with. Marcus J. Ain't no how Steppin with Carlton Banks, April P. and a special guest that just stepped in the building. Be back in a few minutes.